thinking if Growth Mentor is worth it. I've been a Growth Mentor customer for almost a year now, and I'm going to share my experience if it's worth buying for you as an individual or as a team, and really what can you get out of it, and if it's even worth paying the money for, right? So I'm going to look at it from a number of perspectives. First is really just the quality of mentors that are available. I'm going to look at the features, how easy it is to kind of request calls. Do you have to pay anything additional on top of the monthly subscription? Because they have some free mentors and they have some paid mentors. I'm going to share some specific features that can help you get more out of Growth Mentor. I'm going to talk a little bit about their community, and ultimately, I'm going to just look at their pricing to help you decide if it makes sense to buy a Growth Mentor subscription. So once you sign up to Growth Mentor, you basically reach a dashboard here. Let me just shift. Once you sign up to Growth Mentor and log in, this is the kind of dashboard that you see. Okay. All of your active sessions in here, all of the features in here, and yeah, just a lot of educational content. Now, let me just show you first of all how to first of all, let me just show you the mentors, right? Because Growth Mentor has some pretty interesting set of mentors. So I'm just going to go click on Browse Mentors. Okay. Now, overall, as you can see, they've got 580 mentors, right? So they're pretty specific on who actually comes onto their platform, right? Now there are 3, 4 different ways to get matched to the right kind of mentor, right? The first is you just search by name or a particular skill or industry and just filter through all of the people, right? So let's say I'm looking for help with demand generation. Okay. So clicked, I just put that in here, and now it started showing me all of these different mentors. Okay. Now I can sort them by reviews, the newest mentors, the oldest ones. I can sort them out by particular skills that I'm looking for. If you want to see free mentors, if you want to see paid mentors. So right now there are 53 mentors in overall. Now let me just click on the free and see how many are ultimately there. 48, right? Which is pretty interesting, and that's what I've observed. Majority of the mentors on Growth Mentor are actually doing free calls, which is incredibly generous of them. Then you can decide if you want to chat for 60 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm going to do a 30-minute session. Let's see how that breaks it down. So all of them have a 30-minute session. I want to have a chat on Tuesday, and now you've got 19 mentors, right? And then you can keep going, filtering down with it, right? The other thing they have is collections, which is particular categories where mentors are experts, right? So, for example, you're looking for an SEO collection, right? So, SEO for beginners, there are 9 mentors in here. And then you can see all of the people in here. You can go into each profile. Okay. So that's what a collection is. And they've got a lot of interesting collections, be it product onboarding or B2B SaaS growth strategy or finding product market fit or advice on dealing with co-founders. There's a lot of them, right? And the last way to find a mentor is actually my favorite one of all. So they now use GPT-4 to do their own analysis of finding the right mentor, right? So you basically click on here, get matched, and write whatever's your pain and challenge. They give you some pointers, what's the desired outcome, and then get matches, right? So let me show you a simple search. This is what it looked like. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes for it to work, but here's how it looks like. So I basically put in a request about just some career advice in moving from an existing role that I'm at to the future position that I aspire to be in. And so based on all of that, they basically gave these three mentors with the more with these scores which show the how much of a good match this is, right? And they basically tailor this to your request, right? So they take their description, the mentor's description, and they take your question and then they merge it into an answer that makes more sense, right? So, in this case, it's like Pratibha would be a great fit for you because of her extensive experience in demand gen and growth marketing. She can provide insights from transitioning from an SEO role to a demand gen role, which was exactly my question. So I find this pretty useful. And to be honest, their suggestions are pretty good 9 out of 10 times. I've already had calls with these two folks and they were really good. So those are like the three ways where you can request for help from mentors. Now, the other thing you can also do is you can put in a help request. So you can go in here and put in a new request where you can describe what issue or problem or challenge you're facing. What have you tried? What's the desired outcome that you want from this request? And put it in certain tags like SEO, PPC, funding advice, all of that, right? And once you submit, this request basically goes on here and on the Slack community of the mentors and all of these other places. And then the mentors start applying for that help request and sharing that why you should speak with them, which is actually uh, pretty good, right? So let me show you here, right? So this person's get clarity on my 30/60 plan for new senior marketing role, and you can see there are like 5 applicants. So in that way, this is pretty. Now let me just show you what a mentor's profile basically looks like. If you're interested to speak to a mentor, there's basically a profile page where you can see how many reviews, sessions, when they're next available to talk. They usually have a profile where they showcase their experience with industries and tools and their own thing. They share some of their best written content and then reviews from other folks on Growth Mentor. And then basically, if you want to request a call, you go in here. And this is what I like about Growth Mentor. You have to be really specific before you actually put in a session request. So I'm going to push for 30 minutes and you can schedule a call through Google Meet or Zoom or their own Growth Mentor video room. And then let's say I want to choose a time, 9:30 p.m. next week. I need to put in an objective, right? What I'm looking for, what skill area that I'm seeking advice in, what's the problem, and what's the outcome of the call, right? And where this helps is because the mentor kind of helps you go from here to here, right? So it's pretty helpful, and they're very particular about that you should have the right level of information in all of these channels. Once this kind of once you fill this out, you basically click on confirm session request, and then what happens is a message like this kind of goes to the mentor. So to show you this here, this is the request that I went, and she responds, and then we kind of have a call. And all of your calls are basically they show up in here. And here's the thing. Our call, our communication tool of choice is Zoom. I can add private notes. I can give her more context about what I want, and overall, it helps you out, right? So that's how you raise a request. Now, in terms of mentors, like how good is this list? Is this a list of averages? Is this a list of amazing people, very hard to reach to? I'd say it's a mix of both because I found some people that are slightly average. Nobody was bad, I'd say. I think the lowest is probably like a 4 out of 5, and the best is like a 5 out of 5. Some of the people that I've seen here is there's a big guy in SEO called Kevin Indig. I don't think he's there anymore. Let's look at people for over $100. Yeah, to be honest, like it honestly doesn't matter if it's paid or free. You can choose either. I usually just go for free sessions because most of the mentors, as you can see, right, out of the 540, just about 30 mentors, which is like 5% actually charge, 95% are available for free. It's more like them just being super helpful. So anyway, that's the whole mentor library. Now they also do like these community events. So first is they have these city squads where you can join and have discussions and meet in person. Like they say, join your local squad to connect locally and meet in person. I think this is a very good initiative. They've also got a community, okay, where yeah, you can just connect with people if you want to find a brainstorming partner. Let's say you want to explore co-marketing opportunities within B2B SaaS. Let's just put SEM. Yeah, now you have all these people that you can reach out to, right? So this is pretty good. So that's the second bit. Like, so first was there's the asking for help from mentors. The second aspect is networking and the whole community aspect of it. And the third, I'd say, is knowledge. They've got a huge library of videos, lots of good videos, podcasts, mentor columns, and everything. And to be honest, like there are some really good mentors in here. Like you'd see like directors of marketing of like good companies. So yeah, that's overall my experience with Growth Mentor. In terms of the quality of my sessions with mentors, so I think first of all, like Growth Mentor is great if you're, let's say, stuck on a very specific problem, right? Be it with SEO or be it with your career or be it with something else, right? And it's a good place to just a great sounding board of people, incredibly generous people that are here to help, right? And they're doing a pro bono service to you, right? So in general, I've just seen people are very, uh, I'd say, incredibly generous with their advice and time, and that's the bit I also really like the aspect of growth mentors, like very particular about their entire community. They, if you follow them on LinkedIn, they're always sharing videos from people and connecting people and all of that. So I think that's pretty good. Personally, for me, like really my biggest benefit from Growth Mentor has just been that it's an affordable way to get some advice from mentors from like different people, right? You don't have to go through, have to ask a bunch of people on LinkedIn for a question, and then like maybe 1% will reply, and then there might be a paid transaction, all of that. Growth Mentor in that way is free. What I don't like about Growth Mentor is that while I think the quality of mentors is actually much better than what it was like maybe 2 years ago, I think they're definitely improving on that. You might find most of the people in here kind of generalists with their advice and not like somebody with like deep expertise. Yeah. If you're looking to maybe talk to a CEO, like you won't find them in here. Very rarely, right? A CEO who's, let's say, on the same revenue page, on the same revenue scale as you. Let's say if you're doing 5 million revenue, you won't find another CEO who's doing 5 million revenue because they don't have the time to do pro bono work, right? If you want to reach out to an incredibly high in demand expert, you won't find them in Growth Mentor. But what you will find on Growth Mentor is like just a helpful bunch of folks. I think Growth Mentor is great if you're a solo founder, a blogger, an independent contractor, a marketing consultant, a solo founder, and maybe an early stage founder. I think in those cases, Growth Mentor is really helpful. It's also helpful if you're like a first marketer or like a marketer in a very early stage of a startup. Like I think there are places where it can really help you. So yeah, I think that's my general analysis. Now when it comes to pricing, right? So Growth Mentor costs $75 per month for 3 free calls per month. This is the one that I have. Honestly, I think it's pretty good. I think you maybe do 3 calls in a month, and I think in most cases this might make sense. If you get a lot of value out of it, you can definitely go for a pro subscription, which costs $150 per month, and you can get unlimited calls, you get hands-on matching and all of that. Or if your team, they have lots of license, and I've seen a lot of teams use it. You can see, yeah, like I've seen a bunch of companies that use it, right? Now, if you take the yearly plan, it actually costs a lot cheaper, right? So it's $50 per month, $100 per month, all of that. If you ask me, I would recommend you to go for a monthly one, right? Because it allows you to pause, as and when you speak, right? Like there are phases where you need a lot of help, and usually then it's good to activate a growth mentor subscription. But when you don't need it, it's just fine to let it go. It's really just maybe a subscription that's probably worth like maybe a nice dinner or a couple of coffees in a month, but it is worth it. Even if you do 3 calls, just $25 per month. It's not bad. $25 per mentor. So yeah. So in my opinion, I think Growth Mentor is a great addition to the marketing space. Like, it's really like initially it used to be like all about you have to find people first on LinkedIn with similar experience, and then you have to reach out to them, right? And then you have to facilitate that conversation that you really need their help, right? So mentorship was like a big question mark. Like, how do you even ask somebody to be your mentor, right? But a growth mentor has actually made that has productized that, like that. Hey, we have a platform. Here's how you can filter out, find the right mentor for you, and then request for mentorship, right? So I think it's a great addition to the marketing space. I wish I had that 10 years ago. Yeah, and in terms of value for money, I think it's totally worth it, right? The quality of mentors is increasing. I think they have a good variety and bunch. It's pretty helpful that way. Now, if you're considering buying a growth mentor subscription, I would urge you to consider buying using my affiliate link in the description below. It won't cost you anything extra, but it will help support me in creating these videos to help you make decisions, be it with software, subscriptions, or whatever, right? So anyway, I hope you like this video. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I will answer them. I've been using Growth Mentor a lot lately, and I'm just so helpful. I guess I'm just so grateful for a platform like this to be there. I I've also spoken to Growth Mentor's founder. I've thanked him separately for creating this, and I think you'll also feel the same if you're in any of the buckets that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I wish you a wonderful day ahead.